Wow, what a fun matchup. This might be the first time that I've seen Vikings pick in the entire qualifier so far. Does make sense, right? We've got Islands, which is a heavy water map. And Vikings are probably in their best shape on water these days. Vikings, a civilization that cannot make fire galleys. This civilization is going to have to make galleys. Now, you could also make longboats later or maybe demos. But in terms of feudal age, which is typically what you see, I think galleys is going to have to be the play for overtaken. Kingslayer over here, or Mihai. Mihai, who needs to tie it up here, has gone for the Italians. I really like the flexibility and whatnot from the Italians. Cheaper fishing ships, cheaper up to each age, cheaper dock techs. Ugh, it feels so good. And then you have fires against a civilization that doesn't have their own fires. I think that can be good, too. Now, key changes we made to older versions of islands. The main one is, obviously, we did wood balancing, so we made sure that the amount of wood on each island is pretty much the same. But we also added more incentive to the middle of the map, because islands, when the level is really close, can go on for some time, and it can turn into a situation where players start to run out of resources. And in the past, it would just be one relic in the neutral island, and then it would be 3 relics against 2, and a little bit of extra gold income is not enough to swing late game, and it can come down to some other aspects. Wow, Mihai actually using his scout here to bring in the boar, and the boar says no. Don't lose. Oh! Save it! Oh my god, I mean, he does the house trick there. But not only did he almost lose the scout, I think he was one more hit away from losing his scout there. He almost lost his freaking villager. Man, that was freaking me out. Anyways, to complete my point, forgive me for expecting that players are not going to lose scouts or villagers here during my intro, but we added 4 relics in total to the middle. So we have seen, there's one game I remember where it did go late, and the player was losing their Fetorias as Portuguese, because Portuguese are so, like, crazy in the late game with the Feitoria building. But they brought in 5,000 more golds because they ended up getting these relics. And these relics always seem to swing it. There's other factors, of course, but yeah. And, you know, the positioning of the neutral islands are very, very understood. It's always between the players' bases. Because if the neutral islands were, I don't know, over here, someone might assume that is where the opponent's island is and bury some villagers over there. So, which I did in 2015. It was a great time. Why? Who would do that? I don't know. And that was before I was even a content-minded individual. I was trying to be competitive, I swear. So, back dock here from Mihai. This is a big deal. So, I think one of the best strategies that I've seen in the past is like back dock, keep your fish safe. You'll eventually lose them, but then you go fast castle. I really like that strategy with the Italians. I think in some ways, though, there might be some worry doing that against the Vikings, because the Vikings can mass the galleys so quickly. You don't want to let the Vikings mass their galleys. Now, sorry, this needs to be updated. I said I would fix it. There we go. They're both going up for feudal builds here. And so I believe this will be galleys for both of them. So we'll see how the micro is. Micro will have to be top tier. Probably another dock coming over here for Mihai. 4 fishing ships for him. It is 4 fishing ships for overtaken as well. And there's the second dock. Villagers headed to gold. No surprise. Bit of a weird main gold spot. I like this mining camp. I know that it's not great for these tiles, but I actually think that's great. And double lumber camp. These guys are pretty much going for the same builds here. We've seen fire v galley. We've seen fast castle versus feudal. We've seen transports in the quali. Landings. Like a landing here would be epic. But no landings between these two. Lots of confidence in their water play. And it's going to be galleys. So Vikings get the wheelbarrow upgrade for free now in feudal. It's not the most helpful with the way these economies are going to play out. You're not really going to be farming for a long time, if at all. And they don't know where the opponent is, but you can find the neutral islands and let them guide you. That would be the way to do it. I think he's going back dock or side dock because he's concerned the Viking powers with the galleys, but also for a little bit of extra greed. Look at this. He actually goes galley, and now is going to try and squeeze in 2 more fishing ships. And, I mean, a little bit of extra food can help you, especially when it's already cheaper for you to go up to the next stage. Look, he's going for the mill already. Notice no mill, very little on food here for Overtaken. Overtaken's going to go for the much bigger galley play, and Mihai is going to go more for the economic approach. And notice how Overtaken's confused now. He doesn't see the galleys. He sees his opponents in feudal. If Mihai can find the fish and kill some fish from Overtaken while his own fish are safe, this could be crazy. Not a good feeling if you're Overtaken right now. I think a lot more players are going to side dock and back dock. You might even be thinking, if you're Overtaken, my opponent's fast castle somehow, because they're Italians. But never mind, a fishing ship's been spotted. And now he knows. And now it's actually, whoa, it's 2 galleys from Mihai, and then it's fires? If anything, you'd think the order would be reversed. Anyways, he lost 1 fishing ship. We'll see if he loses the other. This is going to be a big galley mass for Overtaken over time. Fires do help defend. I actually don't mind that. Oh, no, his fishing ships blocked him. And his galleys have gone around behind. I would never assume my opponent had backdocked with the Vikings. Vikings, I am thinking it's going to be like 3 docks, forward, galleys all the time. With Italians, that's where, you know, there's some civs where I could see some more funky stuff. And yeah, this is actually just a nice little fast castle style build for Mihai. Pretty crazy, actually. And this was all part of his plan from the start, right? He balanced out his resources for it very nicely, but look at Overtaken. Attacking the fish here, pushing the issue here. I do not think Mihai is going to have any water control left when he makes it to the next stage if this continues. We'll see how Overtaken's micro is. But he has fletching now. And this has been awful for Mihai. This has been disastrous for Mihai. He still hasn't clicked up. He hasn't killed any fish. He hasn't found his opponent's docks. He lost the first game. And clearly the level is high here from Overtaken. To win 3 straight against the guy would not really be a possibility. He needs this one. Let's see how he can stall it out. Something that I think would do so many good things here for Mihai is a dock on the... Oh, okay, I swear I was going to say it, guys. I swear I was going to say it. So a dock on the front. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're going to lose your fish now. And the opponent who's dominating water is going to have this comfortable feeling of, ooh, I can add fishing ships, right? But while it sucks with the Italians, while your eco's not great, you know, to not have any fish at this point, I think your dock techs are still cheaper. And the second you end up getting the upgraded fires, as long as you can, you know, get a couple fires here without being tracked, you're going to kill all those fish. So, you know, these fires are being saved. We got more fires in here. Overtaken was really scared to push much further. And I think once the War Galley upgrade comes in, it is going to be nightmarish for Overtaken to have to micro this stuff down. This is rough. Another dock for Overtaken. Overtaken's going to click up. Did sell 100 stone. No stone sold at all for Mihai, so obviously he still can boom pretty easily once he gets there. Speaking of booms, here we go. Could be a big boom. A little demo on the way. Castle Age is in. Overtaken has to defend for 2 minutes from upgraded fires with just galleys. This is where fires feel very strong. So I've heard some chatter. I've seen some Twitch chatters. I've seen some YouTube commenters. I've heard some casters talk about what they think's best. And I think there's this... A lot of people have a strong feeling on what's better. Galleys or fires. But I have not seen anyone say it depends. And I really think people are going to have to get used to hearing that from me. Because it really does. Galleys have dominated the fires now. But now the fires in Castle Age become insanely strong. So the fact that no one says depends tells me that I haven't done my job. And I think we're going to see two polar opposites, right? KD for overtaken was just incredible. Now these fires are coming in, and now this, again, it is not fun to deal with this for the next 20 minutes. And here, or 20 minutes, wow. A minute. But these fires have to make it here before these get upgraded, because then suddenly War Galley is a little bit different. So there's back and forth. There's ebb and flow to it. I like it. I think it's not actually even about fish at this point if you're overtaken. It's just your War Galley mass. The War Galley mass is the most important thing. And there's actually a War Galley there. It says a leftover galley from earlier for Mihai. Keep in mind behind this, Mihai on the second TC. These fires are looking pretty strong. Yep, great engagements for the fires. Finding lots of kills. War Galley's on the way. Bodkin's not. And the regrouping of the galleys is not great. But the fire ship going to go down. That's the only fire ship remaining. Meanwhile, over here, we have a nice kill here from Mihai. And Mihai, he's okay. He's okay. He's got 6 fires. We're going to see the War Galley upgrade. No Bodkin arrow yet for overtaken. I'm going to assume that he believes he has that. Unless he clicks it now. That's worrying. You might not realize. Yeah, he definitely wants that upgrade. It's going to be longboats and war galleys. Obviously, he comes right back over here to the docks. TC number 3 now for Mihai. Resources collected higher for overtaken, but Italians, they save so much on things. This could be really good. And then the galleys have to be massed in one spot. The fires can split up. And this is where those fires could really do some damage. Overtaken getting Bodkin now. Okay. Here we go. I would compare War Galley and fires to like knights and archers, right? Archers need to be masked. Knights can raid you. But on water, you can't like quick wall out a knight or convert the knight. The Knight of the Sea, the War Galley. Sorry, it's just a little bit of a stretch, but you get what I'm saying, I hope. Now, I think the longboats do better against fires, so I really like the inclusion there. And then you also still have the demos. Economically, game is very close here, guys. KD's very close as well. Look at that, 22 to 21. Impressive. What's the farm count like? 6 farms here. We've got 18 farms with horse collar for Mihai. I think it is really hard to say who's winning at the moment. Certainly on water, Overtaken's winning, but Overtaken needs to be using his water advantage. You need to be taking out docks. You need to be patrolling shorelines. If you're not doing that, that water advantage isn't really accomplishing too much for you. You also could use this time to get the relics, but I think there's going to be some resistance to that until you get your eco rolling a bit more. Fun game. Are demos like longswords then? What would a demo be? What's the land comparison for a demo? A petard? Petard would be the most accurate, but it's not accurate at the same time. Flaming camel. Ah, yeah, that's true. That's a good one. Well done, guys. Well done. Desert Arms, thanks for gifting yet another sub. Phantom, Captain, Ultimum, Jack MC, welcome back. Thank you, Alderico, as well. Appreciate the support. Still, this is technically kind of the start of week 2 of this qualifier. It will be insane. There will be games all the time. Believe me, it'll be entertaining. But we are a long way from the main event yet. Just a month away now. A little less than a month away. And on top of the streams, man, the work is insane right now. So I appreciate the support already. The amount of I'm getting right now, the amount of people here already gives me big hopes for the main event. So I said it before, I'll say it again. I do not like how all this Navy's been masked, and he's not taking out docks. I think he is concerned, he is scared because of the threat of the fires running into his eco, and he's not forcing the issue. But look at Mihai. Mihai shouldn't get away with this. Mihai's going to snag relics? I love it. But if he gets away with this, man, Overtaken's going to regret that in the late game. Italians are already going to be really tough to break. I think Overtaken's played amazing, but he doesn't see the importance of using his ranged units against the docks or the shoreline. Imagine, like, this gold can't be taken. This dock should be down. There could be so much. Now he's going to start to whittle down docks. But, I mean, this could have happened before. Mihai quickly, sneakily going to grab 2 relics from that island. Now, Overtaken's probably not paying attention to that. I also love how the scout is here just in case Overtaken shows up. That's wild. You see how fast the docks go down, though? This is what I mean. And this is a map where you need wood in the long run, right? You won't be able to chop some of your wood. You will then have to invest more wood into the docks because you've lost docks. And then the ships you make, surprise, surprise, also cost wood. It is very wood intensive. Another TC. Interesting choice. Relics are huge. Relics are just so important. Yep, dock will go down. Mihai will have just 1 dock remaining, if that. And Overtaken going to click up to the Imperial Age. Just needs to rush up to University, where he'll probably research ballistics then. And this, in theory, should have been the time where Overtaken had control of those center islands. For now, though, he's doing a good job with his Navy numbers. It's going to take a long time for Mihai to build up and get to the numbers of ships he needs to counter 20 longboats. What happens if transport is sunk with a relic inside? They make a documentary about it a couple 100 years later, and they upload it to Netflix. They somehow get 8 episodes on a relic that they found at the bottom of this ocean. Yeah. But no, seriously, if the monk is in the transport with... Monks, go for it. Don't get the second one. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Don't save your friends. No! What are you doing? Stupid men of faith. Well, it was worth the shot. Yeah, if you have a monk with a relic inside the transport and it goes down, it goes back to where you left land. So back where it was originally loaded. Now, that's always a confusing question for me because in the past, it used to go to the closest piece of land. And I remember that. That's like in my head. And I can't get it out of my freaking head. But I'm 97.1% certain it goes back to where you originally loaded it up. No, it didn't go back to the closest land. Yes, it did, T-West. Yes, it did. Don't go make a video on it because I know my brain's correct. It did in some setting, sometime, at some point. Community games or something. That's the MTC. Can you imagine? I don't know if he knew. Can someone tell me the cost of elite longboats? Whatever it is, I don't think you do that over heavy demo first. I think you need demos in front. That is a scary, scary sight right now if you're Overtaken. Oh, man. War galleys are throwaway units at this point. Longboats are not. It is 4 relics for Mihai. We have a castle in the middle for Overtaken. Now, there's wood, there's golds here. That's useful. It's 750 food and 475 gold. All right, I take it back. You click that upgrade before heavy demo. I take it back. I thought it was more expensive. And he's getting it now. He's got too many of them not to fully upgrade them. Because there's no ranged upgrades for Mihai, his docks are getting shredded right now. His fire count's not that high. This is before chemistry, before elite longboat. My goodness, the Vikings. Taking me back, man. Dominating. And there's the heavy demo tech. Overtaken. His force will be significantly stronger. 1 or 2 demos ready to send in front of mass fires. And then mass longboats would be amazing here. Mihai's kind of in trouble. He's trying to slowly surprise his opponent here. There's no demos yet. That's a lot of fast fires. Oh, man. Where have they come from? The fast fires are here. You need a demo. You need a demo. Heavy demo comes in. Perfect timing, actually. And the heavy demo will connect with some of the ships. You're still losing ships, right? You're still, like, it's a unit you can use once. It's perfect timing there from Overtaken to have that heavy demo tech in. And now he's got a Treb that he can use from the shoreline. But I still think it's going to be awkward. I think it'll be on the shoreline. You do not want fires to take it out. Now, the correct switch is coming in from Mihai, which is Galleon. So you go Fast Fire and Galleon. This is a nice find from him, assuming he engages, which he will. More villagers here now from Overtaken. Is he going to drop another? Wow. That's a crazy castle. That is a crazy, crazy bold castle. Overtaken's playing amazing. So I don't think... I know... I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't pass along. Let me just say, Overtaken is insanely confident and was insanely confident coming into this series. Level of confidence I didn't think the guy could have. And I'm going to have to verify I can share the quote, because the quote's epic about Overtaken's feeling on his performance today and what it's going to be. But people, you know, you always got to be careful. People aren't going to share things with me unless I double check it's all good. But man, is he looking good. And now the Trebs are even being transported. Like, such tiny details. So we can get the Trebs in the better position. It's directly underneath the castle now. This is so difficult for an engagement now for Mihai. But Mihai says, surprise, I've got Galleons now. And the heavy demos will be sniped by the Galleons. But the Galleons go down. Oh my god, heavy demo tech coming in clutch. And there's not really many fires here right now. And remember, if you lose this castle, you will then lose docks, which is production buildings for these ships. And obviously you need that desperately here on islands. The numbers seem still higher for Overtaken. His 2 castles here have killed 11 ships. That has helped so much. And he's even gone for Bogsivagar now, which affects the longboats. That's relatively new. Nobody has water maps in their tournament, so we never get to see longboats getting the +1 attack on their on the ships. But, you know, on land, that applies to their archers. On water, that now applies to their ships. And Mihai is losing so much ground right now. Bob's vinegar is also what you can say, and what I should have said. I apologize. Bob, always very happy to share his vinegar with the Vikings. But, oh, man, I mean, we talk about this being a wood game. What about a gold game? How are you supposed to take that if you don't have water control here? There's gold available. There's relics available for Overtaken through the middle. It's like anytime you go fires, there's that threat of the demos coming out, which becomes such a big problem. Does Overtaken know about this? He doesn't actually know about this castle. Well, Mihai's not finished. He's not finished yet. He's still got plenty of resources to work with. He still has the additional relics. You know, I consider Galleon to be quite close. Or let me rephrase this. I considered Galleon to be quite close to Elite Longboat before the change with Bogsivagar. I don't know now how close it is, but the numbers are close. And Elite Cannon Galleon's going to be in. So I think that's very nice for Mihai, assuming he can keep his Cannon Galleons alive. Freaking Overtaken, dude. This guy has no chill. He did it in game 1, too. No chill. He doesn't know what is here. He's not going to scout it. He's just going to drop a castle on the shoreline of his opponent and go in, man. It's very possible that this castle will not go up for him. But I love the energy. I love the heated shot upgrade, too, with all the castles around. And certainly, I don't think Mihai is taking this fight because he wants to. I think he's taking this fight because he feels he has to take it. Otherwise, things will get so much worse for him. The castle for Overtaken will go up. The demos kind of connect. This castle still stays up. And God, is it annoying right now to be Mihai. Because you just got so much pressure all the time. 22 galleons. There's 30 longboats with way more in queue. And now the Trebs spot this castle, and they can Treb that right down. I don't think we're that far removed from Overtaken then transporting to this area and dropping another castle. Or bringing his Trebs with him. Galleon count is, like, the galleon queue is decent. It's not horrible. This castle does go down. Overtaken's going to lose that. They both lost the castle. We have Galleon now for Overtaken. Now, something that I think both players should consider is removing Auto Farm. Auto Farm is not on for Overtaken. That would have been a conscious choice. What about Mihai? I don't even know where his mill is, honestly. If you see a mill, let me know. I don't know. There it is. He doesn't have auto farm on either. Big demos, big demos, big demos. The demos will get in close. There's cannon galleons in there. Cannon galleons were in there. Overtaken. Good fight. He's going to mix in his own galleons here with the longboats, though. The elite cannon galleons from Mihai done a lot of good for him here against those castles. Okay, here it comes. This is what we expected, right? The transport. Oh, drop a castle, treb a castle. Drop a castle, treb a castle. That sounds good. That's a nice ring to it. Okay, so now galleons in the mix. How many kills do these elite cannon galleons have? We've got 8. Feels like they're doing a bit more. The number's still pretty close. Overtaken refuses to chill. Mihai is not dead yet. Mihai needs this game, man. Guys, he needs this so badly. You can't go down 2-0 in a best of 5 here. It's going to make life so difficult for yourself. The galleon count's really nice. You know, it's also easier. You don't have to think about a mix. It's just straight up galleon all the time. Siege ram now for Overtaken's pretty wild. You know, that reminds me of the old islands meta from a decade ago where people would use siege rams on the shoreline. People would even bring in siege rams here. You're playing in like 400 ping. So it obviously helped to have a tank at that point. Guys, these cannon galleons, I think, are helping significantly in the fight. That castle needs to be canceled right now for Overtaken. I think Mihai can do this. Oh, God. Oh, God. The siege workshops are here. Oh, God. Oh, well, okay. I mean, you're not going to have a base pretty soon, Mihai. You better take some fights in the middle. Oh, wow. I didn't realize he landed the siege workshops. You can't stop that. You cannot stop siege rams. You just got villagers. But all of a sudden, hold on. Mihai going to drop a castle in the middle. Mihai can get some wood that he's very much running out of. Mihai can get some gold. Mihai has the navy. What is happening? Guys? Mihai has 50 galleons. You can make a couple condos maybe to deal with this. The relics for Overtaken are here. This castle will go up. No way. What in the world? He couldn't take his gold for so long. He was just saving it for later. Wow. This is incredible. And he can now he can load up the boys and girls and he can commit. Man, I mean, whatever we wanted to say about the Bob's Vinegar upgrade and longboats, the galleon mass has done incredible things. The siege ram play will do nothing. That's a waste of wood. That's waste of gold. Overtaken at the worst possible time is running out of resources as well. He needs to fight back. And I don't know if he can. There's just too many galleons out there. Is this shipwright paying off, maybe? Was Overtaken taking too many bad trades? I don't know. But we said Mihai needed the win. He's got 75 galleons, and those 6 cannon galleons, wherever they are, they're here. Again, I think they deserve a huge shout-out for what they did against all those castles and what they also have done against some of these ships. At the very least, they've weakened ships. Okay. Take that, Siege Workshop. That will go down. Big fight here. It's kind of difficult to oh, God. Trebs are here. It's kind of difficult to get a strong feel for how many galleons you have because they stack. This castle might go down, actually. Remember, 4 relics for Mihai, just 2 for Overtaken because he never got these back home. He never thought he'd have to. And this is the point in every islands game that everyone expects where the resources are not really there. You need to conserve your mass if you can. But I think, like, I mean, the castle's going to go down. That's a pretty big deal. There's just too many galleons right now from Mihai. He's got 69 galleons on screen. There's only 32 for Overtaken. Mihai's going to win this game. Castle could maybe hold it temporarily, but there's going to be cannon galleons coming over here at some point. I think Overtaken recognizes, I am losing this. And he would have thought that he had this one. I think everyone thought that he had this one. Maybe it's too aggressive at times with castles. Maybe, you know, taking too many fights when he wasn't fully popped. I'm not too sure. It's going to be something we talk about and break down later. But as the castle goes up, it goes directly down. And Mihai is going to tie up this series. What a comeback from Mihai. As his whole eco is basically transporting over to take wood and gold. But he's got the relic income. He's going to have the wood and gold. That is more than Overtaken's going to have available. And Overtaken will lose this. Yeah, Overtaken's just got like, what? Like 10 trees left? 1,000 wood? But it's not that. It's gold. He doesn't have the gold to make 40 more galleons. He's not going to have the docks to make the galleons. He can't take engagements. Man, do you guys... Like, normally you can look at it and say, you know, pretty clearly what went wrong. I think that longboats possibly just didn't do enough compared to the galleons. I don't think I can be too critical of anything Overtaken did. I think the cost of demos and how demos work could have been part of it. Maybe a little too hasty with the demos, but... I mean, he is trying to demo right now, actually. Now is the time for demos to try and connect. Oh! Okay, so like that type of engagement can kind of help you. This is nice to kill some vills here too. But it is 9 galleons for Overtaken. He cannot win. It's over. This is game over. GG. Mihai wins. Mihai wins. Look at the difference in the galleon count. Now, that's tricky because I also don't have a toggle to know how many longboats were there. But Overtaken felt like he was going to take that one. And maybe he needed to simplify it a little bit more. I think that's the main thing to come back to. I think you need to simplify a little bit more. Just stick to the castles here. Don't drop forward castles in your opponent's island. And take as many of the resources here as you can. And make sure you're at 200 pop at all times. Also, something Mihai did a great job of is redocking. Like, he lost so many docks this game. And then he just constantly made more. His amount of army production was pretty credible there. Well played. Anyways, there's the res collected. 300, or sorry, that's the KD. 360 to 300. Res collected. Collected more wood, probably from chopping the wood in the middle. Gold counts very similar. You know, it was a close islands game. Shipwright. Such a huge tech there, and Mihai got it right away. Maybe he simply just saved more on everything when it comes to water because of that. But scores 1-1 here, guys, as these guys try and qualify for Hidden Cup 5. That was a great game. Also, the cannon galleon choice was just sick. I love that.